Welcome to Jan's Views, a place where I share my views and listen to yours. Whether you are here for my artwork, live streams, shorts, or just for the giggles, please be assured I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope that you will enjoy your time here on my channel. I would be eternally grateful if you would give a like to the video, consider subscribing and, dare I ask, even become a member. So without further ado, let's do this.
Hello and welcome to Jan's Views. What's it called? Drama Friday. God, I'm so unprofessional. It's just a joke. We have Edna. Hi, Edna. How are you, darling? Edna's around somewhere.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. I thought you'd be there somewhere. How the hell are you,
Okay.
sweetie?
I'm sorry. I have you coming through the wrong headset, so I'm a little frazzled. But other than that, I'm good. I'm actually still working because of, long story short, no big deal, but my work schedule, I wasn't able to get my morning hours for this Friday.
Oh, no. How annoying.
I know.
Oh,
I'm
well,
I'm about to be on lunch in just a moment, but I see Bally is here. I'm excited because I know we're probably going to be swapping out soon.
yeah, I think it'd be nice if, as I said, Bali is invited to come up, have a bit of a chat. Yeah, I invited her. The invitation is still open. So firstly, I'm going to say hello to little Moose, Moosey. Hi, Moosey. I hope you're well. We've got a few sort of lurkers. That's fine. We've also got our Edna and we've got our Barley. So listen, I was actually going to start on something else to begin with. I think Barley may be able to join in on that as well. So let's welcome Barley on. Hello, Barley. How are you?
I'm doing fine. You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful.
Good. Perfectly.
Yeah, it's Friday. I hope we're all feeling sexy today. It's Friday night.
Oh, God, I'm past that. I can't be asked with it, Barley. I'm done. I'm done with feeling sexy on a Friday night. Do you remember back in the day when if you weren't doing something on a Friday night, you'd think that there was something missing from your life?
Yes, yes, yes.
I used to feel like that. I used to feel so like, what? I'm not doing anything on a Friday night. There's something amiss.
Yeah, you don't feel very popular, but that's the you don't feel
Exactly.
popular when you're not doing anything in the weekend when you're young. Also, me these days I'm married, so of course, I don't do anything very much either anymore. But back in the days, it would be impossible for me not to be out in the weekend.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was the same. I mean, I was sort of hitched very early on. So all through my 20s and most of my 30s, I was hitched. But then after that, oh my God, yeah, I had so much fun. Hi, Bridge. Yeah, Bali. I call Bali. Do you mind if I call you Bali? Because that's how we pronounce
Yeah,
it
of
over
course,
here.
of course, of course. I'm used to it. I'm
Oh,
on my YouTube.
wait, you're
That's
saying Bali, Bali? Okay, I don't know how I said
It's actually Bali because it's the island Bali, but I know some people that
yeah.
Bali.
it's written in a American. If you would say it in American way, it's Bali.
Mm-hmm.
Bali.
But actually,
Okay,
the island, if you listen to people talking about the island Bali, they will
Bali.
always call it Bali, not Bali.
Bali.
But that doesn't
Exactly.
matter.
Exactly. Because they don't. Do you know what? One thing I've realized this a long time ago, the Americans don't speak our language very well, Bali. They sort of, I don't know what's wrong with them, but they don't. Um,
I
so
can't
Moose,
even defend myself.
exactly. So Moosey says I used to sneak out to go to parties. Now I sneak out of parties to go home. I love that. That is great. That's a good joke. Hi, Gia. Hi, Gia. Right. Well, I invited Barley on. What is the worst zodiac uh, sign? Well, I'm a Scorpio on the cusp with Sagittarius. What are you two girls?
I'm Aquarius.
I, I'm a Cancer.
Okay, so we're all different. That's
Hmm.
good. Well, I'm on the cusp. That's why I'm all over the place. So Bridge says it's true, Mosi. I really did used to sneak out of my window to go out when I was a teenager, but now I don't want to go at all. Absolutely. Aquarius, okay. Bridge, I thought you might be a Scorpio.
Hey,
But
Bridge, also Aquarius.
anyway, let's get down to business because there's several things I want to discuss. And the first thing was this. And I think it would be nice if you join in as well. Hi, Gregory. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, I'm young at heart, most definitely. Although I haven't felt it lately. Blimey, it's been so hot. So Moose is a Virgo. One of my daughters is a Virgo and Gia's a Capricorn. Okay, none of my kids are that sign. Um, right. Oh my god, I know. Did you, Bridge? Did you read it? Did you read it? Listen. I'm not reading all of it. Okay, I'm going to skim read it for you, but
I
I just
just
thought it was
noticed.
quite funny and. You know what I'm like? I like to sort of get involved with people sometimes, and this woman was like really getting on my nerves.
But you know
And
what,
Gregory's
Jen?
a Taurus.
I used to think when I was in school writing essays and things, when are we ever going to be doing this stuff? This is what we worked. This is what we prepared for. I don't ever have to write an essay, but I don't ever really use leave comments either.
Yeah.
It's like
Well,
she is really doing her English teacher
her English
justice.
her English is quite good.
Look
So
at these
anyway,
paragraphs.
this is Anna Nicole. Now, I don't know anything about this bird. All I know is she was in the attic. When I say in the attic, I mean she was affiliated to those that are also affiliated with the attic. They may
Is
not
that
be.
past tense?
Well, what I was going to say was they may not be at this particular moment because they keep falling out with each other, But when I say somebody is affiliated to the attic, or they're in the attic or whatever, I mean somebody, the people I mean are Negs, DC, Tragic, AK. I know nothing about AK. All those people. Do you know what I mean? The degenerates over there. That's who I mean. Now,
Is that what they
I
call
don't know.
themselves?
Sorry?
Do they call themselves the degenerates, or is that your word?
No, that's my word.
Okay, I'm just asking.
'Cause I like my words. I like my words. Hi, Zena. Right. So anyway, this girl, I know for a fact, was in the attic at some time. Now, apparently, she doesn't like Negs anymore. So now she's, I mean, I know she did a panel with Tragic and this AK woman. Know nothing about her. Don't care to be honest. Anyway, so she writes this novel about racism. Now, I'm like about racism. What I believe, and I don't know if you're the same, Barley, I believe you have to educate to eradicate. Okay, you have to educate people on certain things. And one of the things I feel they need to be educated on is racism.
I agree with that. I definitely agree, especially if you live around the world. How to say I lived around the world, and you have to not be open-minded, but you have to not be ignorant. It's rich coming from me, with my history on the YouTube. But I agree that racism should not be in any form tolerated.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
also on the YouTube, in this community, it should not be talked about. Me personally, I never talked about anything on the YouTube regards my past and everything, but it came out. But people that are in the community, that some subjects should just not be supported.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that racism shouldn't be used for clickbait.
No, definitely
Um,
not.
and and these sayings that come from it, like, oh God, she's race baiting. What the hell does that mean? I mean, it's just, yeah, I agree with you, Barley. I think it should be spoken by people who actually know what they're talking about, or
Exactly.
people that have experienced racism.
Yeah.
So anyway, the reason I don't know how this came up while I was on YouTube, but it did. So I'll just read a few bits of it. So she's put, the first bit was just a waffle. Right, so it's like, this is the last thing I'm going to say about this, because clearly since Chantel put on her hijab, converted and moved to the Middle East, it has become very clear to many people that the community girl world is a very intolerant and racist space when it comes to these subjects. So, has she only just realised that? That's what
Yeah,
I
it's a
would
very
say.
strange observation to make now, like
Yeah, I think so too. So I'm like, okay, so who is this girl? So I checked her out. Her picture on her face on her YouTube is blonde, blue eyes, white skin. Okay. Now, and it's not a proper, it's not a photo of her. It's
it's
just
a
a picture. It's
cartoon.
just an emoji. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, so she can't be black because otherwise she wouldn't have that picture up. Okay. So anyway, I read down a little bit. And then she said, if you think that making jokes about Middle Eastern people being hairy is fun and cute, so be it. You do you, but don't expect normal people to not have an opinion on it. Okay, so I thought, right, okay, I've got an opinion on it. My opinion, oh, actually, I'll read what I wrote afterwards. So then she went on to say, it's 2023 and people should know better than to be arguing with a person of colour about what they feel is racist. especially when it comes to comments and insults directly hurled at them personally. I know 90% of you would not have the nerve to call any person of colour hairy or Sasquatch or Chewbacca out in their real lives because it just would not be accepted or thought of as funny in any way. Okay. All right. I digested that a little bit. And then people shouldn't have to like AK, and that's Hot Discord Rejects, to feel like these jokes are unacceptable. Anyway, she then waffles on and on and on and on, brings in Jessica Messica. I read a little bit about that. I wasn't really interested in that. Threw Yo Mama into the mix, and also YTR, and gave this I don't know what essay, about this. Okay, so then she puts, and Yo Mama, you did a whole last 2 streams dragging Shannon and FFG for defending their right to call Salah hairy, and you reviewed Charlie Gold's stream about the whole welfare Queen comment, and you didn't think it was cool then to argue with the Middle Eastern people. So, reading between the lines, I thought, okay, she's got a problem with people calling Middle Eastern people hairy. Okay, that's what I got from this. Okay, that was her main issue. Is she Middle Eastern? I don't think so. So, who is she to tell other people that certain words that they use towards a group of people is offensive? So this is what I wrote. Okay. Can I just see what's going on in the chat? What is a race baiter? Good question. A race baiter, I think, is somebody who, when they're in a discussion, just basically brings up race. And I don't see anything wrong in that. You know, when you're from a persecuted group in society, it's quite often, fairly near the front of your mind, whether people like it or not.
Right.
So,
Well, maybe what a race baiter is bringing it up when it's not really part of the context of the discussion or the situation.
yeah, I do kind of get that. Yeah, I do. But I think, when she first started this ream, the main thing she said was that she's like, dictating to people. Okay, and she's good at writing. This is very well written, mind you. By the time she'd finished speaking to me, her English had gone a bit askew, but never mind. So she's saying that making jokes about Middle Eastern people, hello, I mean, calling someone hairy to me, and I'm a person of color, is not racist. Okay, it's an insult, yes, but it's not racist. But
I
Gia
can
said,
see how it can be deemed racist or racial, excuse me, because it's saying that people are like if you're hairier, then you're more like closer to an animal, you're more like primitive maybe. So you're further from human. Maybe that's where they're going with
I
it.
think that personally that this Anna Nicole, I think that she just took this way too dramatic. She put too much energy into something like this to write all of this. And if she's gonna take it, so why doesn't she? If she's gonna make it such a big thing, then it must mean that she has some personal story behind. Why doesn't she share that story? So we can relate.
exactly, and that was the point I was trying to get at. Um, So as Gia said, anyone can be hairy. Of course they can. Bridget says she's mad that people are making fun of her friend. Yes, I get that. I do get that. But don't make it a racial thing. That's what I'm saying. Why make it a racial thing? Right. So if I can quickly read some of this. I put, this is very well written. I'm not sure why it appeared on my timeline, but here we are. And I'd like to add my money's worth. It always irks me somewhat to hear white people speaking on racial stereotypes and the impact on people of colour, especially white women who have been known to support racist creators.
Yeah, sometimes the people just should know when they should keep their mouth quiet. It's just decency, you know, that you're born with. You should know. And this,
Yeah.
I don't have what to really add to my any pennies because I'm white. These people just want to speak in order to speak. They're not doing it for the right cause, because they should be quiet.
Right.
If they should be quiet if it's not their place, you know.
Exactly. Oh God, Bali, I'm glad I've got you up here, because
I
Edna would have
I
totally
really
disagreed
enjoy
with
Bali's
me.
stream. No, no.
Edna would have said, "Oh, but Jan, you've got to understand that not everybody feels like that." Wouldn't you, Edna, love?
Well, I mean, that's also true.
Right.
No,
As
I can't.
Bridget says, her friend made it a racial thing. Exactly. So why is this person? Yeah, okay. So her friend makes it a racial thing. So this person now thinks that she's now got a voice. Okay. She could tell everybody that, you know, what things are offensive or what things are racial. So I put, of course, there is racism in girl world. As a black woman, it comes as no surprise to me. To single out hypocritical creators, especially on such an emotive topic, is foolhardy at best, especially as you are still theoretically brushing the attic cobwebs from your hair. The main points I want to address are your assumption belief that calling someone hairy can only be seen as a racist slur towards Middle Eastern people. There are people from several countries whose genetic makeup can be found to exhibit certain characteristics, such as more body and facial hair. Some countries where this is apparent are Ireland, Greece, Turkey, Pakistan, India, Cyprus, and some Nordic countries whose ancestors were Vikings. I therefore would not assume that someone who was being called was being racist by simply calling someone hairy. And
Yeah,
then
because also me, I've seen men and women, not mainly men with a lot of hair, from all over the world, and there's some from any. You can be from any country that you know they have that hair on their back. They have, and it's terrible. I personally don't like it, and the men that I've been with that had that, they personally also don't like it.
Yeah,
They even get it waxed off.
Mm-hmm. It's like Rendell says, it's not discrimination towards a race, it's just jokes. Exactly. Anyone can be hairy. Chewbacca is a fictional character. Let me just get onto this bit here, okay? I have been called Chewbacca and Miss Hussey without makeup by two black creators. I have also been told I look like BGTV. Funnily enough, it was BGTV who called me a Chewbacca. So I guess that means that he must look like Chewbacca too. I find it perplexing that you feel that you have any say on what people of colour feel in a community that showcases hypocrisy, hate, racism, homophobia, Islamophobia, and bitterness on a daily basis. We have our voices and will continue to use them. And then I put, and I think you suck too, because at the end of her thing, she put, you all suck. And I thought, thanks for that. So she's been carrying.
So if she wants to write at the end, you all suck, then somebody should tell her why. If we all suck, why did you feel the need to write so much in your time to tell it to people that suck?
Exactly. Right, Gregory says Charlie Gold was stating not long ago that Shannon was racist for making a Twitter joke about Sala's body hair. You know, I'm sorry, but I just don't think that talking about hair is racist. I just don't. Hey, Sasha. How are you, sweetness? Hope you're well.
I
So
don't know.
let's,
There was lots of discussions around black hair that I think were very racial because there's a lot of policing and kind of policing policies around hair that I think affects black people differently or to a higher degree.
yeah, I understand where you're going there. Um, but I still don't think, I think there's a difference in mocking a black, okay, I may be wrong here. In my mind, I think there's a difference in mocking a black person's natural hair to somebody saying, "Oh, you're hairy." I cannot see the correlation there. How is that? How is that the same?
No, I would say that is different.
Hmm.
In Europe, for example, I have to say it's also because of people like this that make topics, even though they shouldn't be making topics, but they do. They make a big topic about it. This is
Yeah.
keeping the world back from evolution because I'm now in America and I've lived in Europe, and I tell you, in Europe, uh, there's we don't talk about it's part of history, racism, but now everybody's accept. There's no difference. But if people keep on talking about this, it's not. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
We're
I
never going
do.
to evolve. It has to. The point is for it to go away. Racism. How do you make it go away? It's not doesn't mean to be ignorant and not to remember history, of course. But you can't keep on living it. You can't keep on living it, and especially the people that are not affected by it, they should not be talking. And the people that are
Exactly.
affected, they're allowed. They have the right. But the people that are
Exactly.
not, they should not be talking.
You know
Exactly.
what though? I think it's maybe she's just trying to be an ally in essence, where, because it's exhausting to always have to advocate for yourself. So maybe she's thinking, I'm gonna do my part.
Oh, she's tired of advocating for having white privilege, is she?
No, the opposite. I think maybe she's trying to give, Middle Eastern people a break from having to always say something is racist or not.
But that's ridiculous. Only somebody who has experienced it can really speak on it. That's
Not
what I feel
necessarily
anyway.
because I'm not a very hairy person, but I do remember, my friends and, different people growing up complaining about having unibrows and things like that, where I never had to really wax or anything like that. Not that that's really my aesthetic to begin with, but yeah. I
Hang on.
think her
Hi,
heart is
dear.
in the right place.
Um, right, so Gregory's asking, Bridge, do you agree with Charlie Gold that it was microaggressive? Couldn't remember if you responded on your Twitter. She's only doing it because it involves her friend. There have been many racially charged things that have been said in this community, and I don't believe she said anything before. Exactly. It's a bit like, I don't know, it's a bit like that saying, it's like, oh well, I can't be racist because my friend's black. And now I'm gonna
Mm.
stand up for all the other black people. No, we stand up for ourselves,
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
also what I think. That's why I say some people just should know when to be quiet, when it's best
Yeah.
time to talk.
Yeah. So I'm going to move
Okay.
away from there because there was so much of it on there and I sort of said what I really wanted to say. So, without putting you on the spot, because I did ask you up here, Barley, I just want to say I'm glad you've come up. I'm always interested in people. I'm always interested in people that have lived different lives, and from what I've heard um, about you, you've lived a different life, and it sounds as if it's quite sort of well, it's unusual, I think, for most of us that are sort of in this little corner of the internet. So yeah, do you want to share some of the things
Well,
with
basically,
us?
I think that I've talked. It's kind of, I've been making so many videos. People know. But basically, I'm Austrian. Grew up in Europe. My mother's Romanian.
Okay.
I was born in Austria. I don't hide about my family's history or past. My mother escaped communism in the late
Oh,
1980s from
okay.
Bucharest, and she fled. She got a visa back then with trouble for 2 weeks for Austria, Vienna, and she left in the year 1989. And there she liked it very much. Her visa expired, so she couldn't go back, because if she would go back, I don't know what the communists would have done to her. Something terrible, because she didn't follow the communistic rules. So
Yeah.
in order to keep safe in Austria, she had to get married. But for work, she became she did sex work. She did sex
Okay.
work, even though she was a very smart
She
lady.
did
But
what she
okay,
had to
she whatever.
do.
She did sex work, and my dad also was a pimp at the time. He was loan shark, a pimp. He owned also strip clubs and all that. So and my dad saw that my mom had more potential than being just a street worker. She was smart and good at heart, because my grandmother raised her, which my grandmother is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And so my dad said, "Okay, you need papers. Let's get married. The agreement is that you make me a child, so I look like a man, a normal man with a nice wife and a nice child. And you can do what you want with the money. You're free to do what you want, but don't ever tell me that I can't sleep with other women." So my
Oh.
mom agreed to that,
How
and
old was your mum at this time? How
at
old
this
was she?
so she was at that time 21.
So very young.
Yeah. And so my mom agreed, and they had me. And
How old
my
was
mom
your
and my dad
father?
then started to convert all the illegal business that they had, from strip clubs and everything, to make nice cafes, nice restaurants.
Okay.
And
And
then
how
my
old was
dad
your
got in some
father?
trouble with the police, not in trouble, but because he was still doing illegal stuff, I don't know what. And the police kind of told him, "Hey, it's time, you have to take a break and you have to get out of here. Take your money and disappear for 1 or 2 years."
Mm-hmm.
And so they found Bali, and I was 5 years old at the time, and we moved to Bali, Indonesia, in the year 1990, where they established a hotel. Back then, Bali was still very quiet; it wasn't so big and touristic. There was
Yeah.
tourism going on, but it was nothing was developed yet. It was no investment yet.
Yeah. Just very
So
beautiful, isn't it?
yeah, it is. So and the thing is, then they made the hotel. The hotel worked great. I grew up there and did American school from the beginning. That's why I studied all my life in the English language, but
Mm-hmm.
my mother language is German.
So what language do they speak in Bali?
Indonesian, I know. So I know 5 languages. I know German, English, Romanian, Dutch, and Indonesian fluent.
Wow. And what nationality was your father?
Austrian.
Okay. So was he an Austrian Jew? Was he Jewish?
There's from his mother. So my great grandmother has Jewish blood from that side, from my dad's side. My great grandmother.
Okay. Okay. That's really interesting. So you're in Bali, at age 5, yeah, living
Yeah,
with both your parents who were doing
yeah.
questionable things.
But they were, how to say, they were still living the party life. They didn't calm down. They still were going out every day, and so I didn't have much. How to say? I didn't have either family. I didn't have family around. No sister, no brother. And my mom and my dad were always out. And that
How
kind
old was your father? Was he much older than your mother?
by 20 years.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. So were you lonely as a child
Yeah, I
then,
was
or?
very lonely, and I even started to self-harm myself because of the loneliness
Oh.
and everything.
So not only were you lonely, you were also very unhappy. Did you
Unhappy, but
feel?
also because I saw my parents how they were living, and they didn't pay attention to me. And then when they would fight, I would try to solve, to help them, mediate the fight. And my
Oh,
dad would tell me things
okay.
that are not normal to tell to a 10 or 11-year-old girl. Well, your mom doesn't let me do it from the behind, so of course I have to go with other women and do it with them there. It's like, you don't say that to a child.
That's disgusting.
That's
That's
gross.
absolutely disgusting. So did they split up when you were in Bali?
No, so in Bali, we were all together, and then because I was my mother, she couldn't deal with it. I don't know why. She just couldn't deal with it, and she told me that I'm going to go live in Romania with my grandmother, and I didn't have much choice. You know, I thought to myself, because I was hitting puberty back then. I was already age 13. And I was thinking, I want to go to Europe, and I miss Europe. And then I have my grandmother, at least some family. So I left and I went to my grandmother. But the thing is, my grandmother couldn't speak German nor English, and I couldn't speak Romanian because my mom didn't teach me Romanian, because my nationalistic, patriotic father said, you're not teaching the child Romanian because I don't understand it, and she doesn't need to know that language.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but then at the end, I needed that language, and my grandmother had to teach me, you know, with hands. Somehow I learned Romanian also through my grandmother, but I went to the American school there. So because my mother and my father, my father said the child doesn't know Romanian, and because of him, and my dad said, just put her back in the American school, because, you know, American school is expensive. It's not like something.
Why did they choose an American school, though?
Because in Bali, that's the only thing you had. You didn't have option German or something. You just had one international school. And still until today, it's the same. Maybe you have a few others from what I heard, but the most recognized and the big one is the international school in Bali. And that's the only one that existed.
Oh, wow.
On the island. Lucky that one existed at all. Let's put it like that. I remember the school was from grade 1 till 12, there were only like 70 children or something. Like one classroom had 5-6 kids.
Oh, wow. So that was a private school, was it?
Yeah.
Did your parents pay for that?
Yeah. And then they continued to pay for it in Romania. But when I arrived to my grandmother, I learned the language. I saw that from living in a hotel and having drivers and having employees all that life, now I have it opposite. Now I have someone that I love and that cares for me. I have family, but I don't have all that money anymore. You know, and at that age, when you hit puberty and you have such a big change in life, and anyways, you come from a different background than all the other people that you're going to school with. That big change for me, you know, was pretty, how to say, I'm glad that it happened, because who knows, because I learned to value that money will never make happiness. And if you're chasing money, you're not going to ever get happy. And my parents were always after money. That was their focus. My mom and my dad, money, 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 money. And that's how they lived their life. And that's how I thought. And they always judged me, and they always told me that I'm a loser. And whenever they would talk to me, because barely I would see them anymore, I would ask them to call me my mom, because my mom moved to Vienna. After I left Bali, my mom moved to Vienna and left my dad alone. And she told my dad she's going to Vienna to visit me in Romania and everything. But in the end, she never returned to Bali, and she just told my dad, no, she opened a furniture store, and there's some bars that they have anyways, and she kicked out his partner, and she's just going to take over the bars. My dad said, oh, so you're not coming back to Bali? And she said, no, she's not happy there. And then my dad, of course, got another woman. He got her pregnant. I have a half sister. I met her also. But my dad never met the half sister, because before the half sister was born, he fled to Austria. After 8 years of being alone in Bali and doing what he did, before my half sister was born, he went to Austria, and he told my mom, okay, I'm back in Austria. Now we're going to live together here, and go sell the hotel in Bali. And my mom said to him, she was like, okay. And she'll go, because the hotel is in her name.
Mm-hmm.
The land and everything. And she's like, okay. And then she went to Bali, and she didn't come back. And my dad is like, aren't you coming to Austria? Aren't you coming? And she's like, no, I'm staying in Bali now. I'm not selling the hotel. What can my dad say? You know, they had an agreement marriage. He couldn't get mad at her.
Wow.
So that's why I'm saying people that were very money focused, money orientated. And that's why I'm glad I moved to my grandmother, and I grew up with her, and I saw how the difference from a life where you have everything, where you don't miss anything, you've got everything and too much, and then all of a sudden you're down to a life where you have nothing, but you see what's important, the values in life, what's important.
Yes, absolutely. So from, I mean, things could have gone so badly for you. I mean, it does sound as if it was bad, you know, I have to confess, but things could have been so much worse for you if you'd have stayed in Bali.
Yeah.
So I think it's good that you've been able to get away from that and to live with your grandmother and you know, get a real sense of what family life is like. So how did you then move out? Because I understand you're in America now, aren't you?
Yeah,
How
so then
did
what
you?
happened is this, that I finished the high school and my mom was in Vienna, and I was always waiting for my mom to say, hey, your mom is, I was expecting when my mom left Bali and moved to Austria. That was when I was aged, so I was 13 when I got to my grandmother, and she moved when I was 15. She moved from Bali to Austria, so I was expecting any moment a phone call from my mom to say, "Okay, I'm in Vienna in at home. Uh,
Mhm,
come here and go to school." You know, basic for me to live with my mom at home in Austria. But she didn't call me. She never called me, and my grandmother kind of let me know, you know, that she's busy. She always said, your mom's busy, she doesn't have time for you, just stay with me, stay with me. So I kind of got it, you know, that she doesn't feel like living with me. She doesn't want the child. She never wanted a child. I was just for her a coupon, a voucher. So
oh,
yeah, so my grandmother said, come on, do university, do this university, you know, you should I'll pay it, and I'll put your mom to pay university for you. And I said, okay. So I started university, and whilst I was in university, I started working because my mom, I didn't have the courage, not the courage, I didn't have the, how, I couldn't ask my mom anymore for anything, you know, like it
mhm,
just felt
What did
degrading
you
to say,
study
mom,
in
I want a
university?
jacket, or I need some money for a holiday. I couldn't ask her. So I preferred to not ask. And my grandmother said, okay, she didn't want me to work, but I said, I need money to work. I need money to live, you know.
mhm,
And my grandmother said, okay, you know, she let me work, but that I was not allowed to ever, how to say, put my education in compromise, which I didn't. So I had to do both. And it was very, very difficult for me, but I
mhm.
managed.
What did you study?
Economics.
Oh, wow, that's good.
And then master's study I have in business communications and relations, international business communications and relations.
Wow, that's so impressive. Sorry, Edna, did you want to ask Barley something?
No, that was my question. I don't want to break up the flow. I mean, Valley, you just have just amazing story. I just had things were coming to me as you were talking, but no, let's
Mhm,
go. I'm just
No, and then
listening.
basically what happened, so in Romania, I finished the university, I started working, and I missed my dad, you know. I don't know
mhm,
why. I felt that I wanted Austria. I'm like, okay, I've done what I've done in Romania. I've done what I've done, and now I want to go to my other home, to my root home where I'm born, Austria. My dad's there. My mom is
mhm.
already in the Bali in the meantime. That didn't
Okay.
settle. And then so I went to my dad, and my dad had some bars, and I said, I already had my company back then working with ventilation. So I was just traveling to trade shows, participating at trade shows, visiting, and my work was on the computer, email correspondence with the clients. So I was
Mhm,
doing that, and my dad had some bars, and so me and my dad, we never had a relationship. That's why probably what I was yearning. You know, I wanted to
yeah.
have a relationship with my dad, and it
So
was
once you,
it was nice. How to say, my dad was okay when he got older. He was okay towards me.
yeah, I was gonna ask, once you began the ventilation company, did you kind of get that validation from your father, or did he kind of acknowledge that you had become a success?
Yeah, my dad did acknowledge. I'm very proud, but my mother, I don't know. Instead of being proud, I don't know how it's possible, but my mom had some kind of jealousy in her, and that's unexplainable. I hate and jealousy because,
Hmm.
for example, she would always throw it when I would tell her, when I would say, you don't love me, and you didn't pay any attention to me or something. She would always throw at me, "You are at least born with an Austrian passport." She would throw that at me like I had a choice or something. "You're born with because of me, you're born with an Austrian passport," you know?
That seems a weird thing to throw at a child.
Yeah,
You
so my
know,
mom didn't. My mom kind of, she was jealous, I think. Like my dad would be proud when I would say, "Yeah, I just came from a trade show in Dubai and we're going to Russia." And he would be like, "Wow, you know, my girl is traveling the world and she did that all on her own." If only he knew how I did that, because it wasn't easy to make my own company. But I think you kind of know how I did that. Because I
so
worked for
Bali,
Well, no. Can you share?
No, I worked for Israel, and then the boss did what he did to me, and then I just quit my job and I wrote to China, to the people that where he was buying the goods from China. I just wrote them and I said, "I'm so sorry that we never met," because I never met the Chinese that became my partner, Joanna. I never met her, but we were always talking on the phone about the clients, about the orders, about this, and I had to write her, "I'm very
Uh-huh.
sorry that I have to leave the company," and I wrote her, "I cannot stand the boss." And I didn't give her details. I just said I'm leaving because of him. And whenever, if she ever comes to visit Europe, even if I don't work anymore in Metal Press Company, that was the name of the company. If I'm not working for them anymore, then to still let me know, because I still want to meet her and have coffee with her, even if I'm not working anymore with her. And she wrote me back, like, not immediately. Let's say in 24 hours, she wrote me back an email. "I also cannot stand him. Let's just make a company together."
Oh, wow. Okay.
So in the end, I didn't even do anything. I didn't look for this. It just came to me. It's like God saw I was really treated bad, and I don't know. The universe just made this happen. How it happened.
So I'm wondering, how did you meet Steve, your husband?
I was with Steve number one in Romania, my first boyfriend. With him, I was together over 10 years.
No, I'm talking about Steve, your current husband.
Yeah, because I was together with Steve number one in Romania, and Steve number one was always making parties and out with friends. We were always out and we were making parties together. And Steve, my husband, was sent by America, Ohio, by some company, machinery company, sent to Bucharest, Romania, because they were making their not factory, but they're going to make the machineries there, because labor is cheaper in Romania than in the USA.
Oh, okay.
So they set up there the work, how you call it, workforce, the work area, the work stuff, the factory. I guess it's a factory also, machinery factory
yeah.
that makes, you know, the big tires for the trucks and all that stuff. Those tires for the big trucks. So, and
So
Steve,
that's
with engineering, he just had to go there. He was there, sent for a contract for 3 months, and he just had to train the employees, you know, how to do this and what is this and what to do this. And while he was there, he was staying in a hotel, and in this hotel was a friend of mine that was working in the hotel bar as a barman. A friend of mine and Steve number one, my first boyfriend. And me and Steve number one went to visit our friend, because sometimes he would give us, you know, he could give us some free draft beers, you know. And we went to visit my friend, and Steve was there. And Steve heard me and Steve talking English. And he didn't have friends or anything, and he didn't talk to anyone there. And he talked to us and then asked us if he can go out with us. And well, of course, and we became friends. We just became friends. Me, Steve
Oh,
number one,
okay.
and Steve number two. But me and Steve, my husband, we had nothing, no attraction, nothing at all. Nothing at all.
So what changed?
I would have never imagined that I'm married with him today. I would never have imagined.
Yeah. Was it the pandemic?
Well, what happened is that Steve, my husband, he always planned, you know, to come to Bali, to visit. But he always was telling, I thought he's never gonna do it, you know. Okay, Steve, one day when you come, I'll be here, I'll be waiting for you to show you Bali. And then in the pandemic, he was calling me. The thing is, in the pandemic, I was very depressed, of course, because of what's going on with what happened with my mom, with my dad passing away, my mom with the inheritance battle and all that, and not letting me live in the villa, putting me to live in the restaurant for 2 years. For 2 years. because I
And
didn't
this
know
was,
how to say I had a villa. I had villas, of course, rented before, so the
and this was
restaurant was
back in
working.
Bali. Was this
But
back in Bali?
yeah, back in Bali during COVID. During COVID, that's the problem. During COVID,
Why did you go back to Bali though? I thought you
because
were.
in the end, my dad didn't want to continue the bars anymore, and he said that he wants to sell them. And I said to him, okay, sell them. I don't want them. In the end, I saw that work. I just did it for my dad. That bar work, it wasn't restaurant. It was just simply bar, for workers.
Yeah.
So this was not for me. This kind of work was not making money, and it just destroys your health, honestly.
It's
So
hard
I
work,
told him when
isn't
my
it?
dad said he doesn't want to and he wants to sell. I said to him, good, sell it. It's great. It's better. And then when
Yeah.
he did that, he didn't, he didn't really call me anymore much. And then I thought to myself, okay, I have some money saved. In the meantime, I fell in love with Goran, with a man that ended up, I felt the most in love with him in my life. And it was a 2 year of passionate relationship. But at the end, he told me that he's married and he has children. And I was like, okay. So,
Oh,
Oh
wow.
and
no.
I let him stay in my apartment and everything. And he's still staying until today in that apartment. He's still today in there. And because he works in Austria, but every 2 months he brings all the money home to Croatia to his wife, brother, and they have their greenhouses. That's their business there in Croatia, greenhousing and growing stuff to sell. And so I realized that, and I was like, oh, my heart was broken. My heart was broken, and I didn't have the guts to kick him out of the apartment. I just couldn't. So I just packed my bags and I went to Bali. And then my mom in Bali said, hey, you have saved money. Why don't you just stay here and invest it? I have a plan. I have an idea. And she made the restaurant, and the restaurant 5 stars. She helped me how to say with the connections, with who to use as a builder, where to buy this, where to buy that. She had still some relations.
Yeah.
She helped me out with that, and she made the restaurant right across the street from her villa, right across the street from her villa. So basically, during COVID, uh, and it worked fine. But during COVID, of course, I had to close. All the tourism in Bali was dead. There were almost no lights, no hotels. Everything was dark, pitch black. All the
Oh
foreigners,
God.
all the foreigners left. Me, I didn't leave because my dad had just passed away, and I'm like, I thought COVID was gonna pass quickly, and I'm like, let me just stay here and put the restaurant back on its feet, and then I'll go visit home, Austria again. But the thing is, lockdown, lockdown, lockdown. And it was the Bali island. It's even harder with the flights with that island. We
Yeah.
couldn't find any flights, so I knew that until COVID is finished, I can't do much except just sit and wait. And I had no friends. I had nobody. And my mom didn't let me. I had villas before that I rented while the restaurant was working. But when it was COVID and I didn't know how long it lasted, I didn't want to waste money and make a contract, because you can't rent in Bali a villa for 1 month. You have to make a 1 year
Mm.
contract. And I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen with COVID. When am I going to go to Austria to rent a villa? Now it's useless. It's senseless. Doesn't make any sense. And I said, the restaurant, anyways, is like European style. I don't know if you saw pictures, but the only thing I didn't have, I had kitchen, I had AC, I had television, and the tables and chairs, only those I moved out, and I put a big bed inside, and I made it like a studio, which would have been great for me to use for maybe several months, but not for 2 years. And my mom didn't let me stay in the villa my dad built, and he made me. I have a room there. And she just didn't. And she just stopped talking to me, and she would just hide, and she would make sure that I don't see her on the street. It was ridiculous. For 2 years, she was doing this.
Do you know, Bali, I'm going to interrupt there. This is an amazing story. Have you thought about maybe writing a book or
But the thing is, everybody, that's the thing. Also, Breezy, if you know Breezy, the reactor, she also wants to write a book about her life. Everybody thinks that their life is special and they should write a book. I don't think that I'm special enough to write a book, but to tell my
listen?
stories.
No, I don't agree with that at all. I don't think it's about being special. I think it's about it's about the story that runs along through it. And with yours, you're a survivor. So it's not that you think you're special, so you've got to go out there and tell everybody your story. It's that you've lived a really unusual life so far, and you're still a young woman. Okay, so yeah, as Moosey says, it's about overcoming. It's not about thinking you're special. Okay, don't ever think that. Now, if Boozy, I'm calling her Boozy, if Breezy wants to do one, what's she gonna do? She's just gonna do she's gonna write on addiction. Okay, how many people have written books on addiction? What would make her story different? There isn't anything. Now, what makes your story different is that one, you've had, you were in a communist country, or your mother was in a communist country. She escaped from there. She went to an island that people would dream of going to, but it wasn't everything that, it wasn't going on holiday. Okay.
Right, it wasn't
So,
paradise.
yes, it wasn't paradise. And then from then, she's got you bring a child in, which is you, that wasn't treated well, that had, I'm not going to call your parents names, but
Yeah,
you
narcissists.
know
My parents
they
both
didn't.
are 100% the biggest
Okay,
narcissists that you can
that's all
find in the
right.
world.
Yeah, that's okay if you say that, but I don't feel that I have the right to say it. So your story is incredible. And I think one of the things that made me want to have you on my channel was that I knew you had a story to tell, but I also feel as if you've landed in the wrong part of YouTube.
Yeah, I know.
You should have.
I got that also a long time ago, and you see how many things have been outed with. I messed around with the wrong people also, and the details
Yes,
you can see in the
yes.
emails that have been outed. But I'm sure people are wondering. You're probably wondering. You're thinking, "Wow, how did this person? She was talking 2 years with the Foodie Beauty's ex-boyfriend,
No,
No,
I didn't
talking
listen,
understand.
2 years with Breezy."
listen. We're not that. I'm not interested in that, Barley. And neither is Edna, because
Mm-mm.
although we do Drama Friday, and, I get involved every so often, I'm more interested in the person and their story. And your story is incredible. And you've still got some of it to live. You've still got a long time to live. So to have landed in this part of YouTube is an insult to you. I'll put it that way. I think it's an insult to you that you've come here, right, where there's so many hateful people, and you've opened your mouth too much. You've told them too much, and they will run with these stories and make up all these stories. Okay?
Yeah,
Now, that's not fair to you. So what I'm saying to you, I don't know how old you are, but I'm a grandmother.
39, but I'll be 40 next year in February. I'll be 40.
Okay, I'm old enough to be your mother. Okay, now you coming in this, I've already said it. You're in the wrong part of YouTube. You have got an amazing story to tell. If you maybe start another channel, right? And entitle it Bali Girl, or maybe don't
No,
even
but
put
don't you
that.
understand? That's how I got to this YouTube, because it was COVID time, and I saw all these other people making videos. And before I got to Girl World, and then I wanted to make, I said, okay, nobody has, I can show Bali, I can make videos, I can show Bali, the island, which is, anyways, everybody likes to see Bali. during COVID time, there's no other foreigner that will be making videos like I can make. I can show how everything is dead, what the people are
Yes.
doing, and I tried to make videos, but
Right.
they were not getting any views, and I just was like, okay, leave it. Then I was thinking to myself, I just don't have the camera knowledge, and I don't know YouTube knowledge, and it's not for me. But at least I tried. Then I got into
But
Girl
maybe
World,
you could
and
pick it up now.
Yeah.
Because I think now with your channel being what it is, you can maybe go back to those videos where people can help you with the technical camera, questions that you might have,
I
things
could
like
help
that.
you. I could help you. I've vlogged. I've done like, I've been online for a long, long time. I know my way around a computer. I know about editing and editing software. You're wasted. What I'm going to
yeah,
say,
thanks so
Barley,
much.
is
That's why some people tell me you always think you're better. I don't think I'm better, but sometimes even Steve number one, he's like, he checked my channel. He's like, "What are you doing, hanging out and talking with people like that? You're making yourself stupider. You're stupidifying yourself by this."
he's not wrong. He's not wrong because he
No.
knows who you are. Look what you've achieved, for God's sake. Look what you've achieved. And you're letting these people talk to you like you're a piece of shite. And you're not a piece of shite.
But you know what,
Just
Jen? I
know.
think there's something to be said for us all conjugating together in this part of YouTube, and not all of us are or bad or up to no good, right? I think we
Yeah.
just like to have fun. We like to shoot the shit. Like we all can't be doctors and lawyers and whatever like 100% of the time. We have to turn our brains off and give our brains rest
Yeah,
sometimes. And this is what I use YouTube for, and that's what I think Valley uses it for. And I like her streams where she's playing music and it's you kind of feel like you're in a disco or
But she can
I don't
still
know.
continue to do that. But I think that she has a bigger purpose. See, I'm quite religious, Barley, and I'm quite sort of spiritual. And I think you have a bigger purpose, in life. You've got a lot to share. You've got a lot that you can help people with. Forget all the nastiness that's thrown at you. I don't believe any of it. If you tell me what it was, I take it from you. I don't
yeah.
take it
Like
from
people saying
people.
that I married Steve for the green card.
But what
I
does it
think to myself,
matter?
why? Why would
What
I?
does it
What
matter?
advantage do I have in USA? Number one, and I have an Austrian passport. My mom has thrown this in my face forever. So, and then people say that I came for a green card when you understand that
Let
that's
them
annoying.
say it. Let them say it. It means nothing.
But Bali, that's their ignorance as well because they
It
don't
means
know. They
nothing.
probably don't even have a passport.
If you check the internet, of course, America is very good. But if you check where's the life's quality better, Austria or America, it's Austria.
Yeah,
It's not
Europe is much better.
facts.
Europe is much better. Listen, I've got family in America and they keep wanting me to blooming come up, go out. I don't want to go. I don't want to go because I know that our lifestyle over here is, I was going to say 10 times better. Maybe it's not 10 times better, but we just
Jen.
have a different lifestyle over here. But you need to listen to me, young lady, right? You deserve, you, for that little girl that was alone in Bali with not the best parents, okay? That little girl deserves a better adulthood. Now, you can still be messing about on this channel, your channel here,
Yeah.
right? But do another one where, do it in like documentary form, and in fact, you don't even have to say anything. You could just put like a music track, but we check the music, okay, check that it's copyright free. But
Yeah.
your story is incredible, girl. I'm telling you. So please, and one of the reasons I wanted you to come on here was because I've seen you so many times and people just been dogging on you, dogging on you, dogging on you. And I thought, Why? And the worst thing you can do is answer back. But I understand why you answer back.
Yeah, because I get
And
annoyed. It's not justful. It's just not right. They don't even
Right.
know what they're talking about, yet they feel they have such right to comment on my life.
Yeah.
Bali,
It's
what
Listen,
is
suspect,
what
but it's
what do you
not
want
okay
to
to say
clear up?
facts. It's not okay to say you are a trafficker, you are this when there's no facts. You weren't there, you don't know the story. I have evidence and I already put evidence out there, but it's ridiculous that I feel the need to put evidence about
you
my
shouldn't have
life.
to. Don't do it. Stop doing it. Let them believe what they want to believe. You know, I have
Yeah,
people that
like Rich
believe.
said, I answer back and then I get blocked. This is why I was
Yes.
blocked everywhere.
Welcome to my
Bali, what was
world.
the evidence that you put out?
The evidence.
Yeah, what was the evidence that you put out?
Did you not hear my Steve number one talking about the whole incident?
Yeah,
Oh no,
you'll
I
have to.
didn't.
What I would advise to people, if you're
Did
interested
you not
in
hear that,
Bali,
Edna? Did you not hear my ex-boyfriend? Because I was so upset, and he got upset for me because he knew that
Mm-hmm.
it's just not right. And he spoke. You can hear that he's heavily on medication. He had a brain tumor, but what that
Oh,
doesn't matter.
sorry.
But that doesn't matter. He still took the time and he recorded himself talking about this, saying that people
Yeah.
are ridiculous and they should be ashamed that they
No,
accused me.
I'm asking because I hadn't heard, I didn't know, and I know that you because you're right. These are serious allegations. And if we're talking about what was legal or illegal in the country at the time and things like that, we have to think if this was what 20 years ago, this is a different world
And
almost,
the
you
thing is,
know.
what I dislike, everybody knows it was calculated. Everybody knows. If I made a mistake, I thought I was 25, and then somebody did the calculation. I was actually 22 because I
Mm,
got it wrong. I was 22, but nobody ever thought that my situation was a shitty one. They all saw me. No one said, "Hey, wait a moment, let's think about it." She was 22, and she was working for this Israeli. That's why she has that big hate. That's always going to be a trauma in her
right.
for
but
But
life.
see, I
And
think
Bali,
I don't. But listen,
and
Belle, it doesn't
nobody
always
thinks that
have to be a
how was my
trauma.
situation at 22 to be put in that situation. And the thing is, well, I have the evidence, and that's why Steve number one said what he said, because me, I was brought up from my criminal family, and the little education that they gave me, they didn't give me much, but my dad always told me, always keep your back clean, always keep your back clean. Do not do anything illegal if it's not for yourself. Don't ever do anything. So you understand, I was aware of that.
Okay, yeah.
I think what I want you to take from this is what Bridget has said. No matter how much evidence you put out or how many people speak in your favor, people will still believe what they want to believe. And you have to realize that, Barley. You owe them nothing. Don't give them anything. You don't owe them
Yeah,
anything.
true.
Okay. And I think that's where, I get quite sort of wound up. I'm like, don't tell them all your business. It's none of their business.
We gotta hold you back, Jen.
Yeah, it's true
Take
though.
a deep breath.
Listen, we're gonna have a break and then we're gonna do something quite quite funny.
O-
Um
Okay.
Okay, I
well I
also have
think
to go. I have to, but I'll be back also. I just have to put some potatoes to boil because Steve is coming home at 7:30, and so he
okay.
smells the food.
Well, just
Okay.
stay on
But I'll be
mute.
back. But I'll be back in 5 minutes. I'll be down here again. But I won't close.
Okay.
I won't close the computer sound. It will keep on going.
All right then. Right,
Okay.
so guys, we're gonna have a quick break and then we're gonna we're gonna have a look at something. It's gonna be fun, guys. I'm really looking forward to this. Okay, and we're back in the room. And this is what we're going to look at. I don't know what Edna's going to say about this, but this had me with my chin hitting the floor. This is Monty. I think Monty has lost the plot. I honestly believe Monty has lost the plot.
Yeah, he was having fun with this one, Jan. That was funny.
Okay, so what? He wasn't being serious?
Of course not. It is a
Okay.
crazy coinkydink, don't you think though?
No.
No, that the Pattaya, how you say it? The Pattaya floating market burns down hours after Foodie Beauty visits?
It's what happens. Yeah, I mean, you do get coincidences. You know, there's a reason why the word
Right.
is coincidences in the British language. But
Coinkydink.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Now he's probably going to cut me off if he sees that I'm reviewing it. But oh my god, I just couldn't believe it. So let's have a listen to what he says.
James. So you kind of scope out the floating market at Pattaya, then you put out a video that you were fat shamed in public. Was this really your revenge,
I'm just a
Foodie?
guy with an opinion who observes things just like any of you are, but there's not going to be a single person, even amongst the most fierce and loyal beezers, who are going to tell me that Chantel and Salah were not feet away from this little love display.
You're welcome, Underwood.
And I'll show this in a moment, but she talks about how Thailand is a great place for love while standing next to her hunky boy toy, Salah. But conveniently, they don't show any love while they were there.
Okay, yeah, Marty has a point there. Those two, they're not in love. We know that. We know it's all a big joke. Okay. Now, Edna, you're probably so excited because we're going to be looking at Foodie Beauty. And I normally say, no way, Jose. But
I am.
I just couldn't.
It's an agreement. It's just an agreement for her and for him. He wants a YouTube channel, and
Yes.
he knows that he's gonna get it. Just like the ex-boyfriend also got his from Foodie Beauty, but he's an asshole, so he messed it up.
Yeah.
And Salah just wants also a YouTube channel, which he sees is realizing his wishes. And Foodie Beauty just wants content and to prove all the creators wrong and the people, look, I can travel and I'm living life and I am making content, but what the fuck are you guys doing? Something
Yeah.
like
You know what? Honestly, though, she's in Thailand. She's doing it. The woman is humongous, and she flew to Thailand. She's
yeah.
in the
You think
market.
that she's
She's in the
comfortable at all?
temple.
She's torturing herself. She's not
It's
enjoying this.
amazing.
It's like I've always said, and I will continue to say, Foodie is the biggest troll on YouTube. She knows exactly what she's doing.
Yeah. I agree.
She knows that, she knows she's too big to do all these things. But by golly, she's
Yeah.
gonna bloody do them
On purpose,
just
to
prove
show
it.
everybody, and because she knows this gets her
I
the
don't
views.
know.
She just doesn't
I
care
don't know
anymore.
if she knows. I don't know if she knows, guys. I think she's a little delusional. I think she
She
thinks
knows,
she's really.
Edna. She knows
You
100%.
think
She's
so?
very aware of
Oh.
Of
it.
course
She
she
knows.
knows. She knows what she's doing. 100%. But the funniest thing for me is that these two, and I include Marty in this as well, because he's going along with this conspiracy. And also Monty, I mean, you can't expect any more from him. But what amazes me is how these two grown men have come up with this conspiracy, and that, you know, she's behind this. She is behind this monumental fire that happened in Bali. It's not Bali. Where is she? Bangkok.
Thailand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thailand.
Yeah.
She is behind this. I've never heard anything so ridiculous in my life.
So stupid. That's just really just shows the people they don't have what to talk about, and they will say anything.
I took it as a joke.
It's pathetic. No, I don't. I see. I would argue with you there, Edna. I don't think Monty was joking here. I really don't. So let's play a little bit more. Okay, now this is just a pathetic picture. Okay, this is just pathetic. Foodie needs to stop doing this because she's just making herself look like a twat.
Yeah, but you know, when it's off camera, when they're off camera, it's like Foodie Beauty is like the auntie. I think that she has like the auntie kind of role, because I know I've been auntie also before.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
I don't know what their relationship is. I don't know what his sexuality is. Not interested. In fact, I'm not interested in her as a person. I think she's ghastly, and I think she's a troll. And I'm just not interested. But you know, the thing that got me was that these idiots were actually coming up with reasons for what was happening. So let's watch a bit more and we'll see.
Don't they? Isn't that what arsonists do? They stick around.
This is gold.
And have people speculate who did it while they're reveling in their
This is terrible.
what they've done.
Like, I know there's like a lot of sickos and sick birds around here, but let's see. So can we see where this is in relation to the love sign? Was that say on there?
I really don't know how or why that's even a thing. I mean, what does it matter? What does it matter how near the love sign was? I just don't get that bit.
Findley tea?
All right, people.
You can buy various foods and
I'm telling you, really dry weather, wood and fupa don't mix.
drinks as well. I was dying of thirst, so we each got a fresh palm juice. It tasted like coconut water, but sweet.
Probably wasn't dying to ignite some wood as well.
This is mine too. This is a little profiling tip. When you're nervous, you tend to get pretty thirsty.
Also, when you're walking about in Thailand, you probably get pretty thirsty as well. I mean,
Right.
come on, guys. Listen, I am not backing this lump of lard at all, but I'm just looking at. I honestly could not believe that two grown men would come up with this. I just no. Let's move a bit near. What is it he says? There's a bit up here that he. Some of the things they came out.
I am
couldn't
sick
believe it.
and tired
Monty does like
of
his
media
advert.
deception.
Sorry, guys. Got to get his money somehow.
Look at this look on his face. He's doing the will of a higher power.
Yeah, look at that
She's
smirk.
a little uneasy. Like she's used to just calling people scumbags and having Missy Mood dox everyone.
Hey, Doc, what's
I
up?
can tell she's a little trepidatious, but she's going
Trepidatious?
along with the plan.
Right? That's a
Because
nice
that's
word.
what her man wants.
Trepidatious. Not sure about that word. I can't be bothered to Google it.
It's a beautiful.
If you think that she wanted to get in on the elliptical machine, this is such a shady look on this man's face, and I'm not even kidding.
He's analysing Sala's face here, and they've come up with the thing that. Well, yeah, I think he's just he's got a smirk on his face because he knows what's gonna happen. Come on, guys, please. It's ridiculous.
Also,
I've
she's
never
wearing that
seen
hat. You know,
shadier than-
this hat is just to troll the people. She
Yeah.
doesn't like this hat. This is just to troll. This is just to troll.
I
No,
know.
Bali, she's wearing that hat because she's so in love with her husband and he bought it for her. So
No, come
she's
on,
proud
that's
to wear
BS.
that hat.
That's what some people believe, but that is just
No.
wrong.
So then we'll skip around to here, right? And what they've done is they've likened his face to this young girl who's a smirk because she's got a smirk on her face, I presume. Um, the world knows her as Disaster Girl. Okay. So I presume this young lady or this young girl had something to do with that fire. So they're trying to say that that what's his face, Salah, is making the same smirk. So because he's making the same smirk, guys, he did it. He did it, guys. Never heard anything so stupid in my life. Anyway, hang on, let's move on. I'm not going to play all of it. Okay, let's see.
Oh, their costumes
Hey,
are
Charlie's mom,
beautiful.
what's up?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I felt
You
bad
got
when I
Pupa on
saw
good
that.
team.
I don't know why, but I did feel bad.
Sorry,
Sorry,
it's
Barley.
funny.
What did you say?
I felt bad when I saw she falling like that with her when she fell with her knees.
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't. But then I think, as I say, it's all a
It's
troll.
embarrassing, Jan. It's something embarrassing, and the thing that's so sad. That's why I'm sad because she could have cut it out, but she's not cutting out any of these embarrassing things because she's like, this brings me money. I don't care if I'm
Yes.
humiliating myself, and that's sad.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily see it as being sad. I think this is the reality of of her life.
Yeah, but you think she's happy when she wakes up? Which woman wants to wake up and feel sad and not feel sexy and not feel loved and feel hated? You think that's a nice way to sleep and wake up every day? No. It's just
Yeah,
the
you
Well,
money.
I
It's
mean, let her.
money, money because she knows she can't do anything else. She has no other option in life apart from this.
yeah.
That's what she thinks, but she has other options.
Like
I know
what?
Well,
Jan. I
What
know
other options would she have to get a job where?
taxes. She can use her brain.
see, I disagree. I
Yeah,
think
I also
I
what can
think
she do? She can't do anything, and she knows that very well.
yeah,
Especially with her
she
weight
knows.
and her health now, in the shape she's in, she can never earn any money anywhere else except from YouTube.
Yeah. Sasha. Sasha's coming in here saying she started the fire. Who believes she started that fire? Use that. Right, I'm so behind on the chat. I really am hopeless at this. Do you know what? I think, and I think it's been happening a long time. She enjoyed it, I think, by her laughter. Yeah. Now, I personally think that she's given up on herself a long, long time ago.
Yeah,
To the
Oh
point
yeah.
where she will do anything for the camera. Let's
yeah,
remember
anything.
before this latest arc, how many times, how many bits of that blobby body did we see? Because
But you know what, Jen? I think this might be her coming back because she's doing the thing she said she was gonna do. I mean, she's not climbing Mount Everest or whatever she said, but she traveled to Bali, to or not to Bali,
Thailand.
to Bangkok. Yeah.
right, as Moosey says, she doesn't feel shame or embarrassment, which could be called a psychopath. You got a point there. You have got a point there. Not
Yeah, that
all
is true. Also, there is a point to that.
not all
Psychopathic.
psychopaths are violent. Okay, it's just that a lot of murderers just so happen to be psychopaths. But there's so many different things, there's so many different traits that make you into a psychopath. I would say I'm not sure if she's a psychopath. I would say probably lean more to sociopath. And I think she's shown that by when she went to Cuba. Now, I was like Barley. I'm an empath, Barley. I don't know if you are. Now, I remember when she went to the beach and she went on her own and, and then she set the camera up and then she waddled down to the
Yeah.
water and the camera was still playing. And all you could see was this big blob with a tiny white head bobbing about in the water. And I felt for her. At that point, I really felt for her
Yeah.
because I thought, and it was that no, I've thought this before. She doesn't care what she does, and YouTube is so much a part of her life that she will do anything to keep it going.
Yeah, exactly. That's why when she saw that her content was not doing anything, and she had
Yeah,
this depression with the ex-boyfriend and with all of that, she the thing that's what I'm thinking is that how did she get this collaboration with Salah? I don't know. There must something in the back. How did they meet and how work that out? That is my question behind, because the
Yeah, that's
agencies I know, but how and through
yeah.
whom? I even expected the ex-boyfriend at the beginning that he helped out, but quickly the thought disappeared from my mind.
yeah. I think it's a financial contract, and I think they both signed it, and I think that yeah, he wants to get out of the country. She's obviously funding him, no matter what your mama says. Your mama seems to think that just because you've got wealthy parents means that you can live off of them. It
Yeah,
doesn't
no,
work like
look
that.
at me. I'm the good example. When
Yeah,
my parents, when I was out of their eyes, they forgot me.
exactly. And look at Sala, what's his name? Yeah, Sala. Uh, Look at his other family. Look at his brothers and sisters. They're successful people. He's not.
Right.
He's not a successful person. Have we seen any family meals where Salah has taken her to his family? Now, I know because I've got Muslim friends that the basis from them for them is family. So are we expected to believe that she's gone to meet this guy, right, who's not in his own country? He's from Syria and they're living in Kuwait. So they're second class citizens over there. It's a fact. I'm not making it up. Okay. Now, his siblings have managed to carve out or earn good um careers. Okay, they're probably on good money. And then you've got Sala, who obviously has nothing. So, I don't want to sort of come against your mama, although I do sometimes. He's wrong. I honestly believe he's very wrong. And he's very wrong in these things he says about this woman as well. And I've said it before, I can't watch it. If he starts talking about her, I'm out of there because I can't listen to somebody coming up with a whole lot of bullshit about something that is so obvious. She's a troll. And does she do a good job of it? Well, yeah, she's got
Yeah,
like,
she does. That's the thing.
yeah, she does. As Gia says, Sala is the black sheep. I believe that. I really believe that. But the point I was trying to make was, with most Muslims, as far as I understand, um, they're very family orientated. Why are they not visiting their son with his new bride? Why have we not seen that? Why have we not seen family meals with his family? Why are they not celebrating Eid and all the other religious ceremonies together with his family? Doesn't add up. Doesn't add up.
Right.
No, because it's
And
an
there's
arrangement.
always
Because for her, YouTube is all she has, and the show must go on. But what can it go on with if you don't have stories to tell? So she's making the stories, and she's being a
Yeah.
troll on purpose. She's wearing that hat on purpose.
Yeah. Because she doesn't care that she looks ridiculous. She doesn't. She has no self-esteem. God, don't you
She just doesn't
remember
care
all the...
anymore. That's it. She's given up on herself, and she doesn't care anymore. And she
Yeah.
has detached from caring about the viewer's opinion. She probably thinks this is not reality. You know, she cares about the real people in her life, but she doesn't even have real people in her life. So imagine how sad is that?
I know. And it is sad. It is sad. Let's see what Sasha says here. I feel she trolled people more when she sat at the villa, but things feel different now. In what way, Sasha? Hang on, I'm going to cough. Hang on. Sasha, I think it actually goes... I think it goes deeper than that. And I think it's been apparent for much longer than that. You know? She has no self-esteem. Anyway, let's hear what these two are saying.
No, it's okay. Don't worry.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Was she testing the dryness of this wood? Was she trying to test how, like, you know, when you get, okay, wait a second. We're still in okay, here's the theory. We're in monsoon season, right? Rainy season. So sometimes that dry wood can get wet, which will thwart their plans, right?
Still believe he was joking, Edna?
absolutely. He's being silly.
I can't wait to see where Monty's going to be in 5 years from now. Let me just say that. I'm very curious.
God knows.
Oh,
And
wow.
then there's this bit where they're actually on the boat. I don't even know how she got on the boat, to be honest.
Yeah,
But there's this bit.
it's like we're looking dead at it, but it's so amazing to see.
Right, so there's this bit where they've both decided what she's actually doing is doing a recce. In English, it means a recce, which is what criminals do when they're psyching out. They're checking out where they're going to commit their crime. Okay? So let's see what these two superstars have to say.
Oh.
Chantal's a walk.
Oh, see? He just loves his adverts. So annoying.
Enquires, exactly.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
A boat goes by
Wow, so nice.
and
Relaxing.
they're saying that the people on the boat gave them like a secret
Which woman vouching?
sign.
Oh, babe.
No need, don't worry.
Okay,
Hang on,
okay.
look.
Okay. I trust you. I trust you.
Oh, look at this. They're accomplices. Their accomplices just floating right by in their little boat.
Okay, okay, okay. I trust you.
Insane.
You know, and you could see them yell to him, but Salah knew better.
Oh,
Salah knew better than to acknowledge them publicly because they don't want there to be any sort of connection between the two.
Oh,
right. So this conspiracy, this other boat just happened, right? No, let's go by their theory. They've actually timed this to perfection. Okay, wherever that boat came from, Salah and Foodie have managed to time it so that they cross on the way in their canoes, whatever they're called. And they make signs. Look at this person here. You missed those women giving a signal. Really? I think someone's missing a brain. Someone's missing a few brain cells. I'm sorry. Just ridiculous.
oh, there! I missed the woman giving them a signal.
Right, and it's going to
Oh,
go
Angie,
over
the
and
plot
over it
thickens.
again. Because that's what Monty does. Look.
Okay, okay, okay.
Over and
I trust
over
you.
it. Oh,
Wait a second. Is it also a coincidence that he's wearing semi-military fits? Why is it
Right, okay. Monty has sussed it out, guys. He's realised that Zala is wearing a combat shirt. So he's not bright enough to go undercover. He's gonna go on this boat looking like a soldier, okay? And the worst thing is he wore trainers, guys. Oh my god.
Monty is the same like Breezy. These two, they should hook up and they'll be, I think, the happiest couple ever.
Yeah, I've never heard such stupidity, Barney. I really haven't. So Monty's got. I'm just ignoring Marty in this. Yeah, I just can't. Yeah, I'm surprised at him. That's all I can say. I'm surprised he's come up with this. But just hearing Monty try and explain it all to everybody. Look, guys, this is what actually happened. And Edna here is saying that it was a joke. No.
Okay.
coincidence that he has this army green shirt on with like the markings, right?
Yeah.
Well, remember he has markings, I believe, on the right
Oh God.
sleeve.
Monty's
Was it
got it.
like a
Relation
corporal?
to extend the
I
time.
think it was.
Insane.
Let me check because I think he has the two.
Yeah, he's gonna go back.
Yes, he does have. He
Oh.
has U.S. military rank insignia. Well, I shouldn't even say.
Well, okay, so this Syrian man who lives in Kuwait, who's gonna like set fire to Bangkok, is wearing an American army kit or shirt. Make that make sense, guys. Why would I mean? What is Monty saying then? That Sala's been in the American army? Is that something else that we didn't know about? I just.
U.S. military rank. He has corporal rank insignia on the right side.
Oh, see, he was a corporal, guys. He was a corporal. He was a corporal in the American army, even though he's Syrian and lives in Kuwait. Okay, are you all paying attention to this, guys?
Yep.
Let's see. Why is Monty so obsessed with Sala? I know. No. Like he's talking. Yeah, I've noticed that. His audio is terrible.
Yeah, I think he was still moving and kind of getting his new setup together, but it sounded better today.
He needs to sort himself out. I hate to say it, but the amount of hate she gets, she has tougher skin than most, if not all the reactors. I agree with you, Ren. I agree with you. I just don't choose to give her my view. Nah, not interested. Yeah, as Bridget says, it was his disguise, guys. He was in disguise as an American in Bangkok.
Of his semi-military fatigues. Yes, very subliminal, already said Fupa Fabrice. Very subliminal. He's telling us he has semi-military fatigues on, and he has aviator shades like they wear in Top Gun. Is it?
Oh my God, Monty. Seriously. All right, let's move on. All right, let's see what other stupidness he comes out with. Okay. Oh my.
What is she afraid of, Sella? Is she afraid to get caught? Is that why she's afraid? Okay.
Seriously? She's afraid to get caught. What do you think, Monty? What do you think she was doing then? I mean, I heard a bit. I'm not going to play all of it, but I heard a bit where he said, I wonder what she had in. No, I wonder what he had in his pockets. Maybe he had some matches in his pockets. Or maybe he had a vape in his pocket. For goodness sake. I just can't. I just can't, guys. You can go back to being quiet and staring at the screen. Yeah, please do. Monty's accusations sound Islamophobic. He should, yeah. Why do they sound Islamophobic? I haven't got that. Explain that to me, Thea. Or somebody else that
Maybe
may.
because he's like kind of treating him as a terrorist, or he's trying to commit a terrorist act.
Oh, yes. I hadn't thought of that. Does he actually say that? Let me see.
Wait a second. Wait a second, people.
Mm,
Wait a second. I
so
gotta go back a little
excited.
bit.
I bet he took his cage off for this.
What is he afraid of?
Why does he keep going over the same bit? That's another thing with him. He goes over the same bit. Hang on,
Many
let's see
people
the
do
bit.
that. Many do that. I've noticed.
It's so annoying, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Right, hang on. Now they've stopped to get some food. All right, hang on. Let's see what idiocy he comes up with. Okay.
Oh, what else does he have in
We
those
got some
pockets?
drink and some fruit.
Watermelon.
Yeah, and dragon fruit.
Okay, okay.
What
This
does he have
seals
in
the
the
deal. Let me
pockets?
go.
What socks is he wearing?
I know. I mean, what else has he got in his pockets? What are you talking about, man?
Exactly.
Exactly. It wasn't funny. Exactly, Moosey. It wasn't funny. It was ridiculous. And I tell you what, you need to be careful accusing people. And I would never, I wouldn't even give Foodie the time of day, but you can't go accusing, especially something so serious as arson. Jesus. Lucy says he might be more entertaining once this edible kicks in. I took the key to Monty's chastity bet. You wish. You wish, Sasha. Yeah, I know, I remember.
Go back here a little bit. This seals the deal.
Right, it's going
This
back
man
again.
has
Look.
trainers on.
Oh my God, get on with it, man. Right, okay. Ah, see? I can't go backwards and forwards with him because he just does too many adverts on there. Listen now.
This is a very serious situation here. A lot of families lost their livelihoods,
Oh,
but I'm questioning what the hell is happening here.
Okay.
okay, so I don't want to put you on the spot, Edna, but where's the comedy here? If this was Monty trying
It's
to be
hidden
funny,
underneath the boat.
Listen,
well, how was
I
this funny?
I'm not saying that I think Monty's the funniest guy around. It's just that I think he was being comical when he was saying that, they started the fire. I voted for it was started with Foodie and her poopa.
For me to find something comical in what he said, I have to smoke something really, really strong, probably from Amsterdam.
Mm. Well, I do like to get a little relaxed. It's not that strong though.
No, I mean, listen, I like a good laugh as much as the next person. Trust me, I've got a great sense of humor. But there are times when I think, especially in a situation like this, now, if he'd have done it in a different way, then maybe you could say, oh, yeah, he's just been silly doing that. Monty wasn't doing that. Monty was doing what Monty does best, which is to pick at every single thread of this ridiculous story. That's what he was
No.
doing,
I think
and
it's
it
kind of
wasn't
like when he
funny.
was I think it's kind of like when he said that, oh, Foodie's on her way back to Canada. Where obviously she wasn't on her way to Canada because she's in Thailand. But he was just throwing something out there, just kind of getting the ball rolling. I don't think this is any different. Where it's a terrible thing to happen with this fire. I don't think any of us seriously think that Salah or Foodie had anything to do with it. But it's just making light of it. That's all.
Well, you know what I think, Edna? I think that he's not entertained by this. He's not even funny. Why is he still doing this day after day? It's because for,
Yeah.
of course, monetization, money reasons. Otherwise, he wouldn't be doing this. And knowing his
agree.
background and how he thinks and how he talks, he should be doing something different in the world, in society, not doing this as a job, foodie beauty reactions anymore. After what happened, I'm surprised that he is not bored of it himself and he still continues. I don't know. He should be using his time for something because he's not a stupid man. He's not, but I
What do
think
you mean his background?
he has some education in psychology.
Has
I
he?
didn't,
Okay.
Has he?
yeah, I didn't see it, but I believe it that he said it. I don't know. I didn't see it, but I do believe it.
Okay.
Because I always thought he was a marine no, I'm just kidding. That's a joke that he's a marine biologist. I actually asked him that. I was like, "Oh, you in the science field?" I thought I heard.
I actually believe that. I mean, I don't want to throw words out there, but I think he's probably an incel. That's what I think. I think he doesn't have a social life. So he gets that side of things from YouTube. We never see him out and about. He never seems to go out and about. He never talks about friends. He
No,
never talks about days out.
and I'll
He
tell you from
does.
experience, he's the person, from experience, it's very hard to get back into a rhythm and to in the normal life. Foodie Beauty can't do it, Breezy can't do it, Monty can't do it. Me, I'm still lucky, but I almost got into that. I almost got into that bubble, where you can't uh,
Yeah.
relate to real life anymore. It's hard for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
truly believe that as well. And, I'm not just saying it to be mean to him. It's just my observation. It's what I see. And I see it not only
Well, he
because he
does
doesn't
talk
show
about doing.
anything, but
No,
also
he
because of
does.
the way he talks about things and the way he obsesses about things, and he does obsess about them. He's very
Mm.
it's like even watching his videos is hard work because he keeps skipping back. It's important that he shows every single thing. Okay, that's why he skips back and skips back and skips back. And I remember when I first started watching him, I couldn't believe what he would do a live stream. He would do a reaction to somebody, and then he'd say, "Right, we're going to look at that again," and I'd be like, "What? You're going to go over the same thing again?" Now, there's a reason he does that. There's a reason he does that. Maybe he can't stop himself from doing that.
I
You
don't
know?
know. I just thought the videos was short enough to draw out the video to where it's a good length. You just watch the video again. Sometimes I would come in right when he was starting the second the replay. So it was like perfect. I caught it. I don't know. I I wouldn't overthink it.
Hmm. No, I'm looking at my comment section. I'm sorry, guys, in the chat. I'm rubbish. Right, I'm going to skim through them quickly. I think they burned the place to cleanse it since Foodie was there.
Clean it with fire.
Yeah. The fire caused 200. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's nothing funny about it. There isn't really,
Mm-mm.
even though I've just laughed. You can laugh at a scenario. Okay. This, what Monty did, was not comedic in any shape or form. I'm sorry. It just wasn't. Um, okay. Monty should get a job and stop leeching off of Foodie. Hi, little mush mush. Thanks for coming in. He's a marine biologist. We all know he isn't.
I would like to see once that he does, you know how everybody did when garlic bread made the blackout for Foodie Beauty. I would like to have a kind of blackout for Monty and several others. I won't put their names. That if they would continue this 1 month with no monetization, just to prove a point, for them
Yeah.
to prove a point. But I don't think that they would ever do it for free.
Yeah. No, I don't think they would either. I think they're all as bad as each other, to be perfectly honest with you. Bridget says, I think I asked him in the comments if he was a marine biologist after he went off for about an hour about not being a marine biologist. That's another thing. Monty has no sense of humour. None whatsoever. I think I'm with you, Gia. I don't believe he's got a degree either, because he would be bragging so hard. He isn't humble. Absolutely.
I also want to mention that not that people take me wrong, because some people understand me wrong, that I think that nobody should be making money off YouTube. I agree that some people, they put in their time and they really research and they make nice documentaries. They put in, you can see when somebody puts in the work and time, and you can see when somebody does not. And Monty does not put in anything.
No. And I do believe that half the time he goes walkabouts. I think he plays the video and he's gone.
Yeah.
He's not even there. He's not even commenting.
Yeah.
Zena. Sorry, I was just modding another chat. I'm here now, but I'll rewatch the replay. Oh, bless you, Zena. Thank you, darling. He doesn't. He has no sense of humour. Okay, right. So we've kind of got the gist of it. We're getting up to the 2-hour mark. I'm hot. I need to open up my window, my patio doors. But before I go, I want to say thank you so much for joining me, ladies. Bali, you were just as I thought you would be. I wanted to give you a voice, and yeah, I hope I did give you a voice.
I appreciate very much, Jan. It's very touching for me. And I thank you very, very much.
Well, I hope you
Oh, it's so nice to have you, Bali.
Of what I said, in that you're worth so much more. Let people say what they want to say. All right, you know who you are. That's the main thing. Okay,
That's
just be
right.
the best Bali you can be. And if you want to ever come up and join us again, you're
Okay,
perfectly
thanks very
welcome
much.
to.
I appreciate very much, and I wish everyone a wonderful weekend.
Edna, do you want to say goodbye to everybody?
Bye, everyone. Have a good weekend.
Right, so no doubt I'll see you in the streets of YouTube, guys. Look after yourselves, because it's a rotten old world out there. And thanks to everybody who came into the chat, who came on panel with me. And yeah, just thanks. Thanks very much. I really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next one. You take care of yourselves out there, because it's a rotten old world. Bye-bye for now.